This is the Marsh Run restoration in Gantz Park, presented by Elizabeth Blackford, Connor Newsom, and Lane Weaver.
Gantz Park is located at 2255 Holm Road, Grove City, Ohio. The park is 9.7 acres and is owned by the city. The restoration project is focused on restoring the flow of Marsh Run and encompasses around 1,500 linear feet of stream. The stream has eroded its banks and entrenchment has occurred. The site has also become overrun with invasive species, especially honeysuckle. The project cost approximately $1.2 million and was partially funded by a grant from the Clean Ohio Conservation Fund. A combination of container plants, bare root plants, and live stakes were used during the planting of natives. The project's current completion date is May 15th of this year. Their contractor will begin the finishing touches that include final grading, topsoil, planting, and seeding activities this month if weather permits. They will likely replant live stakes this fall, as many of last year's did not survive the winter. They will have to wait on new live stakes to be harvested sometime this year. The park is a fantastic place for families to gather and provides opportunities for children to safely play outside. Even in early spring, the park is heavily used and there were children and families playing in and around the stream. The park contains a historical farmhouse, outdoor sports opportunities, an herb garden, a swing set, a playground, and even an arboretum. The park also provides learning opportunities and community outreach events for volunteers to get involved. The project was primarily necessary because it prevented Marsh Run from causing structural damage to Holm Road. It also made access to Marsh Run easier where it had previously been almost entirely grown over by honeysuckle. A specific reference site for the restoration project was not used. Instead, the city urban forester and park maintenance supervisor, who is also a certified arborist, advised their design engineer on planting material and methods. The contractor, who was in control of ordering the native saplings, had to provide submittals that were then approved and reviewed when planting took place last fall. The contractor was also provided with a detailed process of how to correctly plant native bare root saplings. All of this was done to ensure the correct native species were planted to meet the project's goals. The site's long-term goals are to restore native tree and shrub species as well as ecosystem stability. The park also wished to improve and maintain water quality, as well as the overall aesthetic appeal. Medium-term goals for the site were to prevent stream bank erosion and direct Marsh Run away from Holm Road in the hopes of reducing future infrastructure damage. The short-term goals include the immediate extraction of the dominant invasive species, honeysuckle. This would create open space for the planting of native species, shrubs, and trees. It would also increase the community's access to Marsh Run and the view of the park.
The Marsh Run stream banks have become overgrown with invasive honeysuckle, limiting native vegetation growth and accessibility to the stream. Stream banks have been eroded to a point that the stream had become a hazard to house rub. Marsh Run had also started to experience the negative effects of stream entrenchment. Native hardwood trees and shrubs replaced the invasive honeysuckle, increasing accessibility to the stream. The stream bed was also raised, redirected, and reconstructed to prevent any further erosion and reduce the effects of entrenchment. Very little information was given about the adaptive management approach taken at this restoration site, leading us to believe that the adaptive management plan was not followed. From an outside perspective, this restoration project lacked repetitive monitoring and analyzing, meaning that this park may lack the resilience to changes in the unforeseen future. It is likely as this project ends, groundkeepers and maintenance teams will have to take care of this site to prevent soil erosion and the reproduction of honeysuckle. Research about the project led us to believe that the project was only funded to complete initial construction of Marsh Run and the planting of native vegetation, and not to monitor and treat the park post-construction, making the project adaptable. As time goes on, it'll be interesting to see if the management of honeysuckle and soil erosion will continue to be managed and if Marsh Run will make a full recovery. There are still signs of minor erosion throughout the site, but wood chip socks have been placed lining the perimeter of the stream to slow runoff and soil erosion. Previously cut honeysuckle is showing signs of reproduction. Small patches are popping up in seed banks and in areas where honeysuckle was originally cut down. Future monitoring to prevent the reestablishment of honeysuckle and soil erosion will be necessary, if not already planned. We would like to give a quick thank you to the Grove City Parks and Recreation Department, the Public Service Department, and the Business and Community Relations Department for assisting in providing and helping us gather information related to our restoration project. Thank you.